Good afternoon, everyone. This is Victor from New Start Migration, and welcome to my weekly live section talk. This week, first things, I'd like to thank all the people who have already signed for the petitions I initiated 2 days ago. So basically, if you are within our Canberra Metrics group, you'll be able to find our post, sign the petition, and this is something I have been thinking about during the past 2 weeks regarding to the ACT nomination, particular 190 allocations. So we all know under the current state nomination allocation, ACT only receiving 800 places. And to you, to me, to most of people, we think 800 places it's not good enough to coordinate with such a big demand in ACT, and it's not fair in certain way comparing to the allocation figure receiving by other states, even other very similar states like Tasmanian, which have 2,190 allocations. So I initiate this petition, basically, calling people to express their opinions and signing for these petitions calling for more 190 allocations. So, happily we see till this moment there are over 550 people already signed for the petition. So we need more. My idea is we're gonna get for 1,000 people to sign for this petition. And another thing is I already used those figures and other information draft a letter, and I have already submission letter and already sent the letter to Mr. Andrew Barr, the Chief Minister, and Minister of Skills, Mr. Steele in ACT. My point of view is, first of all, we all understand in ACT, they are like other states, they are labor shortage. But at the meantime, there's something special about ACT. In ACT, a lot of big companies and all those, pretty much most of the organizations are asking the applicants, the job-seeking applicants, to be permanent residency. Some often even need to be a citizen. But at the meantime, ACT was not, asking for 190 places. So it's like on the one hand, you need people, and on the other hand, you need people to be permanent residency. But at the meantime, you're not asking for 190 places, which were leading to permanent residency much sooner than subclass 491. So it's actually self-contradictory. So that's one of the point of view I point out. Second, it's about the statistic reviews by the Department of Education. According to the figures on Department of Education website, currently that is the figure from January to July. In ACT, there are over 12,000 international students in ACT. Well, here referring to the student visa holders in ACT. Comparing to them, there are only about 9,000 student visa holders in Tasmania. So if you're talking about international students, which are the primary compositions of the skilled migration visa applicants, ACT has 3,000 more than Tasmanian. Of course, there are other potential applicants, which are those moving from other states. But at the same time, I think in general, the people who need nomination in ACT should be a little bit bigger than those in the overall numbers in Tasmanian. And we all know Tasmanian have more places in ACT. So it's a bit unfair, even considering the number supplies and the number demand. So that's the second point of view. So, but anyway, and this is a good time to talk about those kind of petitions to get more places from the federal government. I mean, the federal government have reveals some news about they are thinking, and we all know their job summit ongoing. Since yesterday till this afternoon, a lot of people are talking about providing more permanent residency pathways to the visa applicants in Australia. So the national is actually agreeing that skilled migrants in Australia should have more permanent visas than the temporary resident visas. And Mr. Andrew Barr also expressed his ideas about the skilled migration stream, and he was even calling the federal government to allocate 5,000 places to the ACT. Currently, ACT have about 3,000 places, entering ones. So we hopefully his request of 5,000 places will actually come true, and most of those increasing one will be permanent residency via subclass 190. We hope they will come true. But in the meantime, I already sent this letter to his office and Minister of Skills office. I need your voice. I need more people to sign for that, so your voice will become stronger, and that will definitely providing feedbacks and opinions for those ministers to push the Department of Migration to allocate more places to the ACT. So I need your voice. I need you to sign for the petition, and for the benefit of yourself. Of course, eventually for the benefit of the ACT. So that's something I would like to talk today. Second, we all know today there's a big news. The migration department's already agreed to raise the overall migration number to 195,000. Since this year, so that's a big increase. That's actually 35,000 places increase. Of course, when we look at the interim allocation numbers, they are already quite a big increase. But then, because of the final confirmations of this 195,000 places, we think by the end of October, after the financial budget, there should be a little bit more increase across some of the subclasses, and particularly probably some of the regional area that will have more access to the increasing numbers. Of course, ACT is one of the regional areas, so that's another reason we think we should make the voice and asking ACT government to consider to request more places from the increasing numbers from the department. So that's a good news. The number has been increased quite a bit to 35,000 places increase. That's a lot. Okay, but then ACT will get certain share of it. That's what we hoping to see. In the meantime, there are some news about state nomination across different states. First of all, let's talk about Victoria. Victoria this week actually lowering down the requirement. Well, actually, Victoria Grants is making some clarifications about the application. Previously, they are asking the applicant to fill in the annual salary, which means if you are have a job in Victoria, you should put in your salary figure. But this week, the government say if you don't have the income, you just have to put a zero. So they're telling you can apply even you don't have a job in Victoria, but then you just have to put in zero. And we also see over 1,100 places being issued to the applicants who submit the ROI to Victoria. So they're actually doing the application number, doing application. That's quite a big number, and we hope to see that keep on going. So Victoria this year is definitely one of the good choices for those people considering moving to Victoria and seeking their state's nomination. Victoria is some state I'll recommend for sure. In the meantime, there are a lot of people interested in investing in Western Australia. There was an invitation in early October, and I actually give Western Australian Skill Migration Team a call. They say there will be another invitation in September, and after that September invitation round, they will review all the invitation number, to on their website. So you'll be able to see the minimum points across different streams. Then they will give you a very good indications of if you actually have a chance to apply to Western Australian or not. To the ACT, we still see invitation being issued on frequent basis since the ACT government receiving the interim interim allocation number. They kept on issue invitation weekly. So the frequency is there, and we're starting to see some occupations points starting to drop. Some occupations starting to drop, but most of the occupations still remain pretty high. The invitation points still remain pretty high. That's another reason we need more places to bring down the points. This year, the general picture is every state government is fighting. Okay, it's trying their best. It's fighting for keeping people in their own state, or in the meantime, attracting people from other states. Basically, every state government need talents, and that's within Australia. If you look at worldwide, all those migrating countries are actually competing and fighting for talents and migrants. So if that's just a general trend. So most of the state governments is actually making their efforts to a certain extent to attract more people to apply to the state, and quite a of state governments having more places available, much more places available. So they do have the space to coordinate with bigger demand. So anyway, we'll hope to see ICT actually getting more places in the following months or two. If we starting to have more places, and we're expecting the points to starting to drop, and that would definitely be a very good news for all the people who have been stick to ACT and choose ACT migration as their pathway. That's your reward. That's something you should do, and we definitely will contribute to ACT economy eventually. Last bit is about the visa processing. Today's news is the Department of Migration also make announcement they will add another 500 position of case officers. So there will be 500 more people will join the teams of assessing visa. So they will definitely make the visa processing faster. That's something we also very delight to see. The visa processing time in the past 2 years was simply ridiculous. So that situation should be improved in the following months, since they're going to have more people available to process in the case. So anyway, this is all the information I like to share today. Okay, thank you very much.